Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As I'm doing my research and trying to make sure I'm sharing the right information, and the right information means, in this instance, the most productive information. What's going to help you who are tuning into this video? So, I'm writing. I've written a book. I'm writing the next book, next couple of books. And before I knew it this weekend, my complete mind exploded, which is good, but not so good because I was able to come up with several titles and synopses for the Moment series. Now that's good because as far as my book covers go, I can start getting those designed and I can start doing pre-orders and I can start promoting. That's good. However, what's not good is while I have these titles and I have these synopses, I have characters that are entering, new characters that are showing up, old characters that are doing things that I don't know that people should be doing. So during my research, excuse me, another author says, let those things out, the dark side, the not you side, the I would never do that in real life side. Let that stuff out on paper. And I think that I still need to keep talking to myself about that because a bunch of years ago, I was worried people are going to think, you think like that? And I know people who write horror or anywhere where someone gets killed, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's dark. But I watch and I read those but to write it, that's different. So writing is not easy is the title of this video. Writing is not easy. It's fun. It can be fun. It can be frustrating. And I think unless you're really enjoying what you're writing, don't be a writer. Find a different job. I really mean that. A bunch of years ago, I had this campaign that says, love yourself. No, I had a campaign that said, quit that job, live your passion. Whatever job you are taking on, make sure you enjoy that job, is what I meant. Now, quit working a job because a job lets you know it's an obligation. You have to do it. They're going to take taxes. You know, all the negative stuff with the job. But when you talk about a passion, there's a different feeling. Mm. There's a different feeling. You enjoy it. You know it's going to be a challenge, but you're ready for it. You're bracing for it. You're looking for the opportunity to unravel a ball of string or to solve a puzzle or to get someone out of a predicament. You're looking forward to that. But if you, my shoulder keep going away, don't it? But if you don't enjoy what you're doing, someone could be burning up and shame on them, metaphorically or literally. Okay. So if you don't do anything else, find work that you enjoy. We all have to work. We all have to contribute. Some of us volunteer, some of us work part-time, some of us work full-time. Whatever it is, we have to do stuff. You say, well, I have bills, Katherine, so of course I have to work. I'm an adult, Katherine, so of course I have to work. Yeah, okay, great. But that sounds like you have to, not that you get to. So you get to maintain a space to live every month. You may need to share that space with someone who needs a place to live. That may not have been your plan when you bought the place, but you have enough space. You've maintained some place where people would be comfortable with being if they have to be there safely. So you get to have shelter and you get to provide a comfortable space and you get to host people and you get to drive your car or you get to ride the bus. A friend of mine many years ago, Deanna Heiliger, says me to the power of we. If we put more we in what we're talking about and just instead of me, my, our, mine, we would get further because our thought process would be past ourselves. Honestly, I mean, if you think about it, when you think about yourself, when I thought about my cup of coffee this morning, I wasn't thinking about anyone else. I mean, I thought about my sister who bought me the coffee that I'm going to make, but I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about how she felt about me drinking this coffee today, the way I'm drinking it. I didn't. I may have done something differently if I did consider her, but I only thought of myself. Love yourself. I only thought of me. My coffee, this is what's going to make me happy, and this is what's going to make me productive. Now, in that instance of me being productive, means there's an output for other people, something that I'm going to share or do or contribute. So this selfish move makes me selfless for other people. So as I'm making this video, the video is about writing is not easy. Yes, I'm talking about living your dream, quit that job, and live your passion and what that really means. And I'm talking about people coming to live with you. What does that have to do with writing? Absolutely nothing. My point is everything that I teach you can be applied. Everything I share with you. Teaching is me tapping into you, pulling out something. So I want to make sure that I'm using that word properly. So as I am sharing information with you that I hope that you can gain something from, this is life. This is how writing works on paper. My life is jumping up and down and saying, yes, you have to work. Yes, you're passionate about things. Yes, you have a family. Yes, you have children. Yes, you have a husband. Yes, you have all of these things. You get to be a part of these things. You get to be a part of a family. You get to be a part of a community. You get to contribute. You get to show people that you're concerned about them. And just like my writing, all of those things get in the way. The characters are the different things I get to do. I get to meet different characters. I get to explore different characters. So it makes it difficult because some characters I am ready to get to know. Some characters I don't even want to talk to anymore. I put you in this book, and if I take you out, it's going to leave a hole, and I got to create another character who would fit right here. Okay, you get to go back, but I don't like how you're behaving. And then I think, while I don't like how they're behaving, I like them for the story because it helps the story. So there's a lot that goes into it. Yes, you want to write a story that makes sense and that people will enjoy, but how do you even get there? Through the hard work, through walking away, coming back, saying, hey, we're talking about this topic. Hey, we're talking about this scene. Hey, we're talking about these characters specifically. Where did this extra character come from? Are they needed in this space? So if you're sitting down writing a book, I know last week I said, if you're wanting to write, just write. I wasn't saying just write as all you have to do is because it's easy. No, what I'm saying is get started. And now I'm telling you, as you have gotten started, you're going to run into some things that's going to confuse you. Because if I enjoy writing, if I enjoy telling stories, why am I having a hard time? Well, you're having a hard time because that's life. You can have a hard time and a good time. You know that. Go to an amusement park and you're waiting in line for your favorite ride or your favorite attraction, and it's just a long wait. You don't get out of line because it's going to make you have to wait longer, but you're not having a good time waiting. You don't have to not have a good time. You could talk to the people around you, or you could spend the time complaining about how you're not having a good time. But either way, you make the time go by. You don't get out of line, do you? You stay for the ride. You stay for the attraction. You stay for the food. Whatever's at the amusement park, you stay for it. So just like with writing, you stay for it. How will this story end? When I finished Moments the weekend, I did not know how it was going to end. I had so many different ideas on where to stop it. What would be a good stopping point? Then I had another dilemma. Am I writing enough? Do I have enough pages? You have enough pages when the story is told. And sometimes you get to rewrite the story in live action. People will give you feedback. People will ask you questions about the characters sometimes, and that'll help you write. But when you're writing and you think that you have a good flow and something just derails you and something doesn't connect and you stop in the middle of a scene, you're not finished writing, but you stop in the middle of that scene because another scene said, hey, I want to be here. For example, my second book is going to be The Wedding. Moments the Weekend was the first one. Moments the Wedding is going to be the second book. However, there is another book that is pushing its way to the front. Its characters are screaming. Its characters is saying to me, write me now, let me have my say now. And I know what that's like as a physical human. I want to get what I have to say out. Let me get it out. Let me share. So these characters are doing this to me. So I am working side by side on the wedding and the weekend fallout. The weekend fallout is supposed to be book 3. However, I think it's going to push itself to be book 1.5. So everything is not in stone. Even when it's in stone, you can clear that stone, you can chisel that stone and put something new. So yeah, writing isn't easy. What I said, I know I'm putting this out as book 2, so it's still going to be book 2. So we have to make a book 3 or a book 1.5, or rewrite the first book and add the fallout. I don't know, but I'm writing in the meantime, and then the solution will come. Now I'm going to wrap up here because I have to get back to writing, fighting with the characters, I suppose, having discussions with them and letting them know, hey guys, we need to talk to the point that people want to read what we're talking about. Sometimes characters can get a little complacent or disgruntled, or they don't like how things are going, or maybe you're not making them bad enough. Maybe you're not making them good enough. Maybe you're not making them successful enough, or I don't know. But I have to get back to writing. But I wanted to let you, my fellow readers and writers, know if you're considering a book of your own, start writing. And if you find yourself with characters jumping up that don't have anything to do with this particular work that you're working on, it's okay. Take out a sheet of paper and let that character have a little bit of time. That's my solution. And do your best to get back to the original characters. What I have experienced is sometimes that new character would take you off on a tangent. But as long as you are writing it, not just thinking it in your head, thinking that, oh, I can remember the story. Oh, I'll remember to write it down later. Don't do that. If you're writing, another character jumps in, has nothing to do with the story, just take out another piece of paper, open up another tab and type it out, talk to text, whatever your method is for documenting, and let that character have its way. It's not going to ruin a good time. You want to be finished with this other thing, but if this character doesn't get attention, you may not get finished with this anyway, because your mind is also going to wonder, well, what did that character want to say? What does that character want to do? So now you're still not looking at what you were originally working on. So let the character have some time. Let the characters, let the scene, the scenario have some time. I was washing dishes the other day and 2 deer walked in the backyard. And I thought, if this yard had a fence, those deer wouldn't be there. What if we got a fence? How long would it take us to get the fence? Like in real life, like if you have to shop for home improvements or tools or something you want to do around the house, it'll take a little bit of research. It may take more depending on the size of the project. So since I've never put up a fence, what would it take? I would have to call somebody, maybe get some quote estimates. So maybe, and let's say I don't have the money because I don't know how much it costs. So I'm going to have to get information, gather information. So that could be finding out quotes. So I have an idea of how much money needs to be raised to come up with to get this fence. So maybe it takes 6 months. Let's say it takes 6 months to get the fence up. This is an imaginary fence. Remember, I'm washing dishes in real life, but the fence is imaginary. The deer are real, but my thought just went to, it has nothing to do with the series I'm working on. I'm looking out the window and there's 2 deer just grazing and eating grass. And I'm thinking, oh, that's so peaceful and so nice. And man, if there was a fence like in the other yards, they wouldn't be able to enter in and enjoy the grass and to give us this beautiful view of nature and feeling in harmony with nature and being peaceful. So what would the fence do? So the fence would do a lot of things, but it won't do anything really other than you thinking about it's coming. The fence is coming. So 6 months of talking about animal visits, mainly the deer visiting the yard, What could be happening in 6 months as the character gets money to build a fence to keep the deer out? Could there be an issue that the deer like this yard? Maybe they weren't going in the other yards anyway, even though people put up fences. They put up fences because the probability of the deer roaming in their yard is likely, but maybe the deer only like this particular yard. And if we put the fence up, it would block them out and it would put a wall between us. So just a mental draft of the fence coming. So I would write a story in my relationship to the deer. Maybe I'll get so friendly with the deer. I find out what they like to eat, make sure that that sweet grass is available, or maybe I'll get close enough to be able to feed them out of my hand. Might not be recommended, but I'm writing a story, you know? So in this story, maybe we don't have diseases. Maybe these animals can't have rabies and won't bite me and won't attack me and or whatever. So now this character has this sympathetic heart, and maybe we're going to make a fence with a deer opening. That is really what I thought about at the sink, washing dishes, and the fence is coming. So that character, those characters, that scenario took me off for a little bit, but just long enough to wash dishes. And then I went back to writing moments, the weekend fallout. So writing isn't easy, and you have to find ways. Don't force yourself to be focused. Don't do that, because that's going to make it not fun. It's going to make you not want to do it. And of course, we have to do things, but instead of saying, I have to get this done, I have to write this, I have to do this, I have to go there, you get to. I get to do this. I get to enjoy Christmas, but I have to wait until December. I get to wait till December, however we want to look at it. But if I'm not having fun, if I'm not enjoying this, if I'm dragging, don't get me wrong, life is full of stuff that makes you feel like, I don't want to do it. Um, let's say you have a 2-year-old, a 2-year-old who does not just get dressed in the morning. They have to dance around, they have to play with the cat, they have to, whatever it is they're doing, they have to do it before they listen to you and get ready to go to daycare. What if? Now that's frustrating, but you love the 2-year-old, and the 2-year delights you. 2-year-old delights you, and yes, they are distracting and they're getting you off task, and they're not sticking to your adult schedule. They're 2. So you take time either to be frustrated or take time to say, I'm going to give in and I'm going to dance with the 2-year-old, and we're not going to be so perfect today. But you love the 2-year-old. You love the way their face lights up, and you love the way they imagine things, and you love the way you had a perfect plan and their plan was better. So you're frustrated, you're aggravated. I'm not a morning person, so getting up early in the morning and having a fight with a 2-year-old would aggravate me. And I say fight, but I'm trying to hold my schedule, and the 2-year-old is doing their thing. So that's the fight. That's the struggle. That's the push and the pull, right? But I love this 2-year-old. Such a sweet little face. And okay, the morning didn't go as I planned, but I love this little person, and we're going to get them off to daycare, and then I'm going to get back to whatever is left of what I can do. If not, we move on. And I don't want to have the feeling I don't want to pick her up from daycare and I don't want to see her again. I still want to see her. I still love her. I still love the time we spend. It just doesn't always go the way that I plan. That is writing. I love it, but it doesn't always go the way I think it should, the way I planned it out. I say go with the flow, let the pen guide you. Just let it out, let it out. First the message is to me, then the message is to you. Hope you got something that you can use from this video. I hope I tapped into the part of you that wants to explore something different. Leave me a comment and let me know if it's writing or not. Maybe you want to do something completely different, but the words of encouragement in this video allowed you to put in the effort to have the attitude that you need to succeed. If you've gotten something from this video, leave me a comment, because the encourager needs encouragement too. Until the next video, have a super day.